Hi, Scorpios. If you want to come on in, have a seat. We have your message in a bottle here that is rolled up on the shores from the ethereal realms to the beachy realms of the bodies, the densities, and the beings. Thank you so much for being here. Here's your scroll made in your name and essence if you want to take a screenshot. I'm in a slightly different angle today. Try to be fun, figure it out. We'll see. If it sucks nerds, I'll change it back. Nonetheless, we'll scry your ink for shapes and symbols. We'll also be adding on the shaman's palm going through your caves. And we have the ghost tube seer. So typically I'll do the ghost box audio. And today we've got a little visual. So see if that inspires. Scorpios, as always, thank you so much for being my muse, for holding space for me to share my insights and allowing me to be a guest in your aura. All right, Scorpio, sorry. Stuff's coming through already and I haven't quite done my personal opening. You're welcome to join me or fast forward through it. I'm going to close the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. Lots of listening, lots of listening. I'm also seeing like pickleball or tennis or table tennis. I don't know, some sort of... But it feels like it's in the ear space. Maybe even what's coming through, like the glands and the lymph. And it's like one of those things from, it's like a paddle with the ball, rubber ball. And it used to have a string on it. Tuck, 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 tuck. One of those things. I don't know if you feel like time. Because the way I'm looking at the scroll, it's like there's a being in here. And see, here's like the listening. But there's this crown. I do see a commitment coming in. I do see it because I'm seeing like two people like hold hands like this, like, It does feel more romantic, but possibly even platonic. But it's a big old crown. It's like one of those classic, fancy ones. And then it would have like the velvet poof and then a little something on top. That's what it feels like. Okay, there's also something about the traps. Traps coming through Scorpios. I always call it like the dryer lint space. Like if anything's been caught there and you gotta, like pull out your dryer lint thing from the dryer and kind of clean it out. Maybe someone needs a massage. Maybe you got some things trapped, not quite the shoulder, not quite the neck and the throat, but like right in between that space. I feel like it's just asking for maybe like a squinch or a squeeze, or maybe something's done something. And you're just having to nurture it, be a little softer with what you carry, because it's really like a filtration system. Maybe if you're holding back because you're doing a lot of listening. See, my ear is bothering me as well. Oh, I'm seeing Antman and the Wasp. But the villain, if I may. And it's like, okay, so it transforms. It's like goes from the ant to the wasp to the villain wasp. I don't really know. But there's like the strongness and also something about like a waistline, but I can see someone's ribs. So I don't know if you're like listening to the body, got some stuff trapped from before, or you're working through that if it's in another direction. You know what I mean? That's just the symptom physicalized. Anyway, that's fine. Scorpios. I'm going to flip it here. Yeah, we're still here. Thank you. Oh, you got 3 black cats coming through. That's adorable. Yeah, it's like Antman, the Wasp, and the other one. Are they kind of living harmoniously, even though they all have their different stages and spaces? I love it. Scorpios. I'm going to keep going here, and then we'll get to your shaman's palm. So thank you so much for joining me. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Oh, something's coming out of something about a box with eyes. So somebody might have like square glasses, but it's like I'm seeing somebody who might have, like if someone's, square, or that's how it was, back in the day. You're so square. But I feel like this is like a personal endeavor, whatever this box may represent, the way you see things, very structured, Scorpio, but it's tilted. So now it's like this Give me a card here. Say if this was the square and now it's tilted. And I feel like it's a piece of artwork where it's like, just hovering and people are like, oh, how is this big? Oh, okay. It also brings me into Saturn's cube. I think it's Saturn's cube. Scorpios, you might be working with Saturn. That would make sense if there's some discipline going on, or if you're being hard on yourself, and or other rabbit hole. Because of the crown, you're creating conditions for you to flourish, versus waste away or waste your time, people, places, or things, commitments, relationships that aren't serving you, that kind of thing. That's really odd. Is it it's like a, like the when you're vacuuming and it's this attachment. It's like one of the different attachments you can put on. That's what I'm seeing. It's like different attachments. But the beautiful thing about this is that I'm seeing this attachment and there's another attachment that matches. And now I'm seeing it if you have a dining room table or kitchen table or a table desk, and you can pull it apart and put the leaf in, and there's the, nuts. No, they're not nuts. Whatever. Dowels, and everything fits for this to extend. Does that make, and it's extending out. I'm also seeing a nose in the head space. So again, I'm not a medical person, so no advice, but it's just how I'm seeing it, of course, symbolically speaking. It's like, imagine the head was one big nose. So it's like I'm sniffing things out, or whatever that may mean to you. If you're like, yeah, I know what that means. Good. I'm trying to take a moment here to figure out, like, maybe if it's even like clear smelling, clairsentient, something along that lines. And I'm also seeing like a submarine eye, when they come out and they look around, like, that's what I'm seeing, because I'm being open, and now I'm seeing myself like manifesting with my hands. So so I'm going to go with the nose, thank you, as like a big old scent, right? Like just the sense of it, all the senses. And it's like blowing your nose, things are being cleared out for clarity of maybe where I've been, where I'm going, what I want to commit to, even within myself. And then my listening becomes reverberal, and I can hear my own thoughts come back around. I can see them pick up and magnetize with other people. It's almost like playing telephone, and you can see how things change by the time it make it back to you. And it doesn't have to be in a negative way. Just in general, it's like you can see something transform. Maybe it's an idea you're working on, a project, or because I see somebody like almost like putting together like a portfolio, and you want certain things in certain places, or you're looking at the creative process, and that it's like changing. It's like I started here and I let something go, and you can see it grow and change forms, for better or for worse. And that brings me into that commitment again, that may be romantic, platonic. But then as I'm coming down to the bottom of your scroll, I'm seeing this very happy lamb, Scorpios. It's a happy lamb. So it's kind of like this gentleness within, of like starting from this, other place where, like, being your own superhero, very different roles. You can be the villain, you can be the savior and the support person, but realizing, like the telephone game, they're really all around you, reverberating information back to you. Okay. I'm going to wander into your cave of ice. These have already been pre-shuffled. It looks like we have a bedroom up there. Spirit of destruction. I don't know if this will come through with the lighting. Again, my apologies. I play a lot with like technology, but I am not qualified. Queen of trial and error. In your cave of wind, we have here shaman of courage. In your cave of hearth fires, we have the dancer of reconciliations. In your cave of rivers, we have hunter of abundance. And in your cave of earth, we have ancestor of boundaries. This has been coming up a lot for the signs, no matter how much I've shuffled. And we'll add on a few clarifiers along the way. So when I wander into spirit of destruction, this is part of creation, right? Destroy, create, destroy, create. Destruction doesn't have to be volatile, is how I'm hearing it. Somebody, it's like wanting, not maybe wanting or giving and receiving sympathies. And those sympathies can be sentimental. They're like sorrowful. Like, I don't know if it's like maybe, you feel sorry for someone, but that feels, I'm not trying to be nasty or, nitpicking. The sentiment is there, but in this case, it feels like a sorry for myself. And there might be some sort of destruction going on. Again, maybe if somebody was too thin, you can see the rib cages. To whatever it is, like working with the Saturn's cube, whatever that may mean to you. And sniffing things out. And having the courage to destroy delicately, divinely, while in density, and realizing because it comes in this reconciliation of flourishing and abundance. It's like this whole timetable shifts. Destruction, the courage to do that, reconcile, abundance, and boundaries. And I feel like the boundaries is in within the body. And I feel like there's some discipline going on. The courage to go through grief, to go through losing a job or commitment, this, that, or the other. But Scorpios, as much as I feel like this is prominent, but the spirit of this session is all about listening and the crown. And it's like a big old brain of a crown. Because you might have, ping-ponged or maybe someone or something wasted your time. But really, it was you just interacting with things to see. Maybe you were buying yourself time for something. Buying yourself time. Antman and the Wasp. And it's like coming into that where you might be frenemies, dealing with frenemies or enemies. But I feel like within the self first, always bringing it home, it's being reconciled. So that your reality can be, if it's not already, abundant. And whatever, like the telephone game, whatever your awareness is adoring. Even if you adore gossip, or even if you adore, not eating or something like that. I don't know why that's coming through. I'm trying to be very compassionate. I truly am, because it's courageous to acknowledge those things and then step forward to them. And I don't want to use the word rectify, but it's really like a replenishing. And this channel can be in anything, Scorpios. It's not going to resonate for everybody. But I see this abundance coming in and this happiness of with these beautiful boundaries of my body, and acknowledging, like maybe even spiritually, like that big nose in the head, like you're just feeling like I have such a big, sniffer of spirit or of something else, mysticism, something that's, non-mundane. And it's hard to feel that in the body, right? To harness that in these boundaries. And it's almost as if I want to kind of circle back, and spirit's like, destroy that boundary that you have within yourself, that this is harnessing all. It's like every cell and molecule is holding a piece of forever, a piece of all the frequencies. It's just when they come up and feel, it's when they're, can flourish and become bigger. But they all communicate with it. Does this make sense? Oh my goodness. Scorpios, I feel like this is hopefully for a few that understand what's going on. I'm trying my best to work through it because it feels profound. Spirit Keeper of the West is coming through. New Horizons, Sweat Lodge. Yeah, now like I'm in a sauna versus a typical sweat lodge. Eagle medicine, higher perspective of that abundance. Something about nitpicking as well. Spirit of air. Oh, that's awkward. I don't even know where you went. Oh, there you are. One moment. There we go. Heavens and hot dogs. Spirit Keeper of the North. On the bottom, we have Freedom Horse. What do we have here? Okay, so I'm going to leave that image for you to, of course, translate on your own, but it looks like there is a figure communicating. One rabbit hole I can absolutely go to hellish fires, but really I feel like it's a cleansing fire wandering into the sweat lodge. and there's the fire. And it's like there's some sort of, I don't even want to say that, be nasty and say that, okay. It's almost like as if I was in a cult before, or in some sort of paradigm, a boundary that kept me in a particular place that I felt like it was destroying me, or I realized, or, a movement or something like that. And though the intention is good, I wanted to lose weight. And so, I didn't eat as much, but then it goes too far. And there's some sort of destroying that's happening, or this is a positive cause, but yet there's these volatile effects. And it's like something just hasn't making sense here. And the courage to step out of that, because now it's bringing me into like Scientology, the courage to step out from what maybe is your norm, the courage to realize within oneself and to go through that cleansing fire and to almost like be by oneself, even by stepping out of a group or a group mentality within the mind, again, going to all those cells, all the different chatterings and reconciling with me. That's how it's making me feel. I'm reconciling with me, with higher medicine and abundance of it as well. Because as soon as I do that, the ego medicine and spirit of air, because it starts in the mind with that crown, spirit keeper of the north, my North Star steps forward, not so much the star somebody else told me to look at, to worship, or to love, or to hate. You know what I mean? This is intense. Okay. Closing out messages for, there's freedom. So there's freedom from this. If you've made it through this reading, thank you so much, because it's quite the journey, and I kind of want to acknowledge absolutely your bravery. So vision and earth guide has come out to support. You are being guided while you're here, and we've talked about the body a whole lot. Your sacred calling upon this planet is to simply love and be loved. And your vision, to trust in your ability to create the vision in your soul. And sometimes that means destroying something that we've been living in, some sort of mentality. Gratitude, universal love shines through the miracles of life all around you. Spirit of air and ego medicine. And then we have here strength to close out, Scorpio, like super strength, superhero strength. You are being guided by the cosmos. Stay strong. A positive outcome is assured with your North Star. Scorpios, thank you so much. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe if this resonated or you simply found it soothing, entertaining, or educational. And all the links are below to donate, support, and request a personal. And until next time, thanks for scrying with me. Bye.